This is Julia, Reference Librarian at McAllen Public Library. Welcome to Creative Tech, where we'll be looking at ways that technology and design can make your life a little bit easier and a little bit more fun. So today we're going to go over the Snapseed photo editing app. This is a really easy and fun app to turn any snapshot into a professional looking photo. So this is a photo that I've loaded of the front of the library. And as you can see, it's an okay photo, but it's not great. We can make it better. So this is what the app looks like when you open it. And what you'll want to do is go down to Tools down here at the bottom in the middle. And these are all of the different tools that you can use. So as you can see, there's a lot. Some of the most important ones are here at the top on the left, Tune Image. So we'll go there. Now, the way the app works is that you have to swipe up on the screen, up or down, to see what the different tools are. So like right now, I'm swiping up and it's showing me the menu. So these are all of the different things you can adjust in this part of the tools. So let's say we want to adjust the shadows. Let's say I think there are the shadows in this photo are too dark. So we'll go there. And now the way you actually adjust it is any of these settings is that you swipe to the left or the right to make it stronger or weaker. So right now I'm swiping to the right, and you can see that it lightens the dark parts of the photo that are in the shadows. It lightens them a little bit. If we swipe all the way to the left, then it makes it a lot darker. So we'll just lighten it up a little bit. And now I'm swiping up again to see the full menu, and I'll see if there's anything else that I want to change. Let's see, saturation. Saturation is like how vivid or how bright the colors are. So I will increase that a little bit because these plants don't look very green. So I'm swiping to the right. We're making the colors a little bit more vivid. You don't want to do it too much. Like this is all the way to the right and you see it looks kind of artificial. If you do it all the way to the left, that makes it a black and white photo. So we'll just increase it a little bit. Another one is contrast. We might not have to do that much with this one here. It just increases, it increases the contrast between the light and the dark colors. So if you go all the way like that, it makes the dark parts real dark and the light parts real light. And opposite if you do it the other way. I'll just leave that one how it is. And brightness, we'll adjust that a little bit. We'll make the photo a little bit brighter so that the parts in the shadow are a little bit brighter. Okay, so let's say you're okay with all of that. You go to the check mark down here at the bottom right corner. That saves everything that you've done. And now anytime you want to switch back and forth or toggle back and forth to see the original photo and your edits, on the home screen you just tap and hold down your finger and then release it and it'll show all of the edits you've made. So right now I'm toggling back and forth between the original photo and the edited photo. But let's go back to tools and we'll see what else we can do. Details. You swipe up or down to see the full menu. Here's where you can adjust the structure and the sharpening. That's not something that we really need to adjust with this photo, but let's say you had a photo that was a little bit blurry or not quite in focus, or you wanted to make part of it sharper, you could do that. But we don't want to use that right now, so I'll do the X, and now we'll go back to tools. White balance. White balance is where you can change the temperature and the tint of the photo. So like right now I'm changing the temperature of it. You can see right here it's like the colors are kind of cool, like cool tones. So I'm swiping to the right and we're changing it a little bit to make it look a little bit warmer. You don't want to do it too much, like that's all the way to the right, and that doesn't look good. So you just want to adjust it a little bit. And same thing with tint. Tint makes it either more pink or more green. You might not need to adjust this on all of your photos. Like on this one, I don't think I really need to do anything with it. So we'll just leave that how it is. And I'll do the check mark. We'll go back to tools and we'll go to crop. Now down here at the bottom, these are all of the different proportions you can use. If you do free, you can make the photo whatever, whatever size or shape you want. Original means that it'll keep it in the original proportions that your camera took it in. And there are also any of these other options here. If you can make it a square photo, any of the options here. But I don't think I need to crop this photo, so I'll just leave it how it was. Another useful one right here is Selective. This one's a little trickier to use, but it's a really important tool. This is useful if you only want to change certain parts of a photo. So like, let's say I want to make the sign right in the middle where it says McAllen Public Library. It's kind of dark and hard to read. Let's say I only want to make that part of the photo lighter. What you do is go to the plus sign at the bottom and you tap wherever you want to change the photo. So I'll tap right on that sign. And if you pinch your fingers in, it's going to decrease the part of the photo that's being affected. You'll see how it's red right now. Nothing's going to stay red. That's just showing you the part of the photo that's going to be affected. And I don't want to make the whole photo brighter. I only want to make that little part brighter. So I'm pinching in. And now I'm swiping up to see what all of the things are that I can adjust. You can adjust the brightness, contrast, saturation, and structure just for that little part that turned red. So I'm going to go to brightness. Now I'm swiping right and I'm making it brighter. Don't want to make it too bright, just a little bit brighter. And I'll also increase the contrast. So now you can see that the sign is a little bit easier to read. Now another thing we're going to do is healing. This is like if you want to remove just a small part of the photo, like let's say there was some trash on the sidewalk that I wanted to get rid of. That's how you would get rid of it. But just as an example, we'll do some of these bark chips right here. You just swipe on the part that you want to erase. And you see right there, I kind of made a mistake. With this one, you have to be careful with the healing. It might heal parts that you don't want to be healed. But anytime you make a mistake, you just do the little back arrow at the bottom, the left arrow. So I did that and it undid it. And I think the photo looks good now, so I'm doing the check mark. And there are lots of other tools here. Another useful one for landscape photos, like this one, is the HDR Escape. So we'll go there. Now this makes the colors a lot more vivid, a lot more contrast. You might not want to use this on every photo because it can sometimes make it look kind of artificial. But it's also a great tool to kind of make it look more vivid and more artistic. This is the nature option, and this is the people option. Even though there aren't any people in this photo, I kind of like the people one better, so we'll leave it there. And you can change it to either fine or strong. And if you swipe left or right, it's kind of adjusting the strength of it. I like it like that, so we'll leave it like that. And this tool, the square up in the corner, in the top right corner with the line through it, that's another way to toggle back and forth between your original photo and the changes that you just made. So if you hold it down, it'll show it without the changes, and without it, it'll show it with the changes. So I like the photo like that, so we'll save it. And another tool that's sometimes fun to use is text. So we'll go to text down at the bottom. There are all these different styles of text that you can use. So we'll do that one, the bubble text. You double tap to change the text to type whatever you want. So I double tapped, and now we'll just write McAllen Public Library. And you can move it wherever you want to move it, and you can also change the size of it just by pinching in or pinching out. And you can also even change the color and the opacities. The teardrop in the middle, the raindrop, that controls the opacity of it if you want it to be completely opaque, or if you want it to be almost completely see-through, you go all the way to the left. And the paint palette here is how you change the color. Okay, so let's say you like it like that. Will you do the check mark? And there's some other tools on here that are useful, but not for this kind of photo that we're using as an example. The portrait tool and head pose for your selfies. So that's a really quick and easy way to make your selfies just a little bit better. Vignette here, well, we'll go ahead and try Vignette. What Vignette does is that it makes the outer corners, the outer edges of the photo a little bit darker. A little bit darker or a little bit lighter. And it's just kind of a way to highlight whatever's in the middle of the photo. It usually looks best if you only use it a little bit. Don't use it like don't go to the extremes like that or like that. Just adjust it a little bit. So once you're done with all of your photo editing, you have your professional looking photo. You go down here to export in the bottom right corner, and it's going to give you some options. You can at least on an iPhone, it'll let you save, which changes the original. It changes the original file, but you can always change it back. You can undo it, or you can save a copy, which means it'll make a whole separate image, separate copy. Or you can export it to JPEG format. It'll create a copy with changes that cannot be undone. So this is a fun app with lots of tools to experiment with that we haven't even gone over yet. Fun, easy app to just make any quick snapshot with your phone into a professional artistic looking photo. This was Julia, and thank you for watching. Be sure to follow MPL Adults on Facebook and McAllen Public Library on YouTube, and don't miss any of our virtual programs.